I'm Santiago Gonzalez Malik and this is my indoor garden. So first I'm going to tell you a little bit about the scientific background of planting cilantro. So my prototype was a 15 square centimeter pops bottle which was about 15 centimeters deep, and it was all painted in dark colors. It had my emblem at the front. It has a plastic lid to keep the heat inside, and it has holes in the bottom so the water can flow down. The materials I used for my prototype was a small pops box, a dark spray paint, some cilantro seeds, aluminum foil, fresh soft soil, some clean water, plastic paper, and some minerals to keep the plant growing. So the methodology for planting cilantro is pretty simple. It takes about 4 days to germinate and then 3 days for the leaf to flourish. The plant requires a lot of sunlight, but not a lot of water, like every day and a half. The soil must be preheated before the seeds are introduced, and the plastic paper lid is to keep the soil always soft and soggy so it doesn't dry from all the sunlight. The cilantro seeds are called Coriandrum sativum, and you can put about one seed for each half a centimeter from another seed. My hypothesis for my prototype is that my cilantro will grow because of the complexity of my design, which maximizes the results of my seed and won't require much attention of my part due to the plastic paper lid to protect soil and the water absorbing system. Here are some pictures of my before and after of the build of my prototype. This is how my prototype looked before I started building it. It was just an empty pops bottle with an empty pops lid. And this is how it looked before, after I built it, which it has my emblem, the fresh soil, and the plastic lid. And there are the seeds inside. This is the cilantro seeds that I used and planted, the Coriandrum sativum. I also built a drip irrigation system prototype to maximize results, and this is how it looked before I built it, which it was just an empty milk bottle, a dripper, and a pressure straw. And this is how it looks after I finished building it. The drip irrigation system was incredibly useful during this process because I used it to measure the exact amount of water that I wanted to put into my plants, and it was also easy to mix with minerals or growing things that I wanted to apply to my plants. So after 10 days, this is the results of my cilantro growing. This is how it looked 0 hours into the growing process. I just had started it. This is how it looked 48 hours into the growing process, which is 2 days. This is how it looked 96 hours into the growing process, which is 4 days. This is how it looked 144 hours into the growing process. You can see that the cilantro starts to germinate, and this is 6 days into the process. This is 192 hours into the process, and we can start seeing more cilantro seeds germinating, and the red stuff that you see next to the plants are some minerals that I introduced to maximize the results. And this is how it looks 240 hours into the process, which more plants starts germinating, and this is the 10th day and the last day of my project. But in the next 10 days we're going to start seeing about 10 more plants germinating and the plants that you see here already flourishing. So here we can also see the results of my growing of cilantro, and this graph shows the growth of cilantro by days in centimeters. So here we can watch how each day, starting from day 6, it grows 1 centimeter, then another centimeter, and then 3 full centimeters for the last 10th day. So in this other graph, it shows us basically the same thing the last graph shows us, but here we can see the curve of growth, which it takes from day 6 to day 10th, which is kind of big, and how much it grew before day 6. My prototype had a huge strength, which was the holes on the bottom of my prototype, which helped for the soaking of water, and so all the water didn't clog up in my prototype and kill my plants. Also, a strength my prototype had was the drip irrigation system, which I strongly think helped for the incredible results I had. In perspective that I only had 10 days, I feel that the results were incredibly amazing, and one suggestion I give is grow cilantro in another time of the year where there is a lot of sunlight, because here in Santana there was almost none.